Hello, you guys. We are here to discuss season 15 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm excited to be here. First, we have to do some due diligence. We have to talk about some things we need to talk about. Kim and Kroy, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann are getting a divorce. The news came out on Monday that Kim and Kroy are getting a divorce. If you're new to Housewives, I don't see how you don't know who Kim is, but let's say you're new and you haven't watched Real Housewives since Kim has been on it. Kim is a season 1 original Real Housewives member. And then after Kim left Real Housewives of Atlanta, she got her own show. They were like right around the exact same time, Don't Be Tardy. And on that show, we saw Kim have 4 children with Kroy. Kroy was a football player for the Atlanta Falcons. Kim and Kroy got married like almost a decade ago, maybe even like 12 years. It's been a long time. And that's what they've been doing. Kim and Kroy, this is my thoughts on Kim and Kroy. Kim and Kroy used to get on my goddamn nerves, especially Kroy, but Kim and Kroy seem like they just work. Like, Kim wanted someone who had money. Kroy had NFL money, which, ain't the best money in the world, but it was money. And Kroy liked Kim. They were cute. He used to do her wigs. Like, they had a cute little relationship. She kept popping out all them goddamn kids, all them baby kids, if you ask Kenya. And so they were a cute couple. I'm gonna be honest with you. After a while, I got on board with it. Now, here is the thing. This is where Kim messed up. I always said there was no reason for Kim to leave Real Housewives of Atlanta, but it's the way Kim left Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kim left Real Housewives of Atlanta on a very nasty note. She left Real Housewives of Atlanta thinking she was better than them bitches. She had her own show going on, her own show that was successful until it wasn't, I guess, because it did end up getting canceled, but it got canceled after season upon season. And so she thought she had a hit show and she did not need these girls. And so she left, at the end of her run on Real Housewives of Atlanta, everybody fucking hated her. She wasn't going on like the trips or going to any of the cast stuff. And then she ended up leaving. And so we never really see her back until like they was fighting over Sheree Closet with Kenya. Like, it was just a mess. And so I think that's where Kim really messed up. She could have stayed on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She could have been a friend of the show on Real Housewives of Atlanta and been a check there. But I think Kim put all of her eggs into one basket, and that was that Kroy would make money and the Don't Be Tardy for the Party. But I watched Don't Be Tardy for the Party, and Kroy ain't had a job in a long time. I'm thinking Kroy didn't have a job for a really long time. Don't Be Tardy and whatever Kim was doing was what was paying the bills. We never saw Kroy do anything after he wasn't a football player anymore. And he went through this phase where like he would be on a team, he wouldn't. And then like Kroy stopped playing football. So I don't understand how they thought the money was going to keep coming in. How long did they expect Don't Be Tardy to be? But I do remember on the show, they were talking about the kids, like her daughters. One of her daughters, she was like, makes $30,000 from sponsorships. Like, she was talking about how one of the girls was making a lot of money doing stuff, being a social media influencer. Even I thought that was kind of crazy. But like, also, how long was that going to last? Because it's not like she actually had a niche on social media. She was just, you know who she is, and she had her thing. So I guess maybe that dried up as well. But the thing I remember most about Kim on Don't Be Tardy is, baby, they spent money. They spent big, big money on that show. And so I was like, ooh, as quick as it's coming in, y'all are spending it. But I don't worry about nobody else's finances. Well, last year, them finances went to hell because they were saying Kim's house was in foreclosure. They were saying Kim was having to sell her stuff. Kim was doing some strange things for some change when it come to the businesses she was opening. It was just a whole bunch of mess. And I'm just like, makes sense. By the way, all this is alleged. I don't know these people from a can of paint. But I said, makes sense. Where else would Kim be getting money from? Don't Be Tardy's not there. She's not on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Where would she be getting checks? The thing about Real Housewives of Atlanta is why everyone clamors to be on this show. This is such an easy job. You literally have to show up, keep up mess, and you get to go home and get a 6-figure paycheck. And if you want it for a long time, it can just go up and up and up and up. And then you can use this show to go do other shit. Like, it's such an easy job. That's why people come in and they take that lowball initial offer that Bravo gives them in hopes that they will soon make money after, because it's such a great platform. It is, if you willing to argue with bitches for, for a few months, you bring it in the money. And I never understood why Kim left Real Housewives of Atlanta, because it's such an easy job. But she did that, and now they struggling. But what I never thought would happen is Kim and Kroy getting a divorce. At this rate, I already said, y'all, I like Kim on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am not a Kim stan at all. The people who I like on TV shows are not people I'm stans of. Take Luann, for example. I love Luann on New York City. Luann is one of my favorite housewives from New York City. But I don't like Luann. I love the demise of Luann. I love Lou being a mess. Like, I like Tamara's another one who, like, no, I don't like Tamara, but do I like Tamara on TV? Yes. I just like it like that. And Kim's another one for me with that. Like, I just like them on TV because they're messy, they're stupid, they do ridiculous things, they lie. I love that. So, like, I think Kim should be right back on Real House of Atlanta. I know we're going to get her this season, but we can pan all these girls and bring back. I want to see what Eva up to, her man getting divorced. I want to see what Kim going on with Kim and her divorce. You can bring back Cynthia. I want to see what happened with Cynthia and Mike. Like, the girls get interesting once they not on the show no more. Like, oh my God. But let's get into, and then the IRS saying they owe them $1 million. The IRS saying they owe $1 million, and I can't even begin with that. Like, oh my God. Like, it's them owing $1 million and having well over a decade to pay it. Like, these back taxes come from 2013. Like, y'all have forever to get the IRS their money. Like, I'm not doing this with them. I'm not doing this with them. I'm not doing this with them. Wishing them the best, wishing them nothing but the best, because that is a whole mess and a half over there. They got a bunch of kids, and you don't want nobody to be homeless and on the streets. So I'm going to just leave that where it is. Let's get into the show. Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 1, season 15. I give this episode 5 out of 10. It's not great, but you know what? Real Housewives of Potomac, their initial episode last season was good, and that season went to complete shit. So that don't say nothing if the first episode ain't rocking. I give this episode a 5 out of 10. I wasn't impressed. Like, it kept my attention well enough, but I wasn't impressed. What it seems like Real Housewives of Atlanta is doing is they're giving you a bunch of stuff hoping to keep your attention, but that doesn't work on me. You're going to have to, like, weed down some of the stuff and, like, be zoned in, focused on something, because this episode just gave us a bunch of elements, a bunch of possibilities, and to me, it just made nothing important. It made nothing seem important because there was just so much going on. So let's get into it. We start this season off with Sheree and Martell. Sheree shops at the deadbeat nigga store. I am so sorry. Sheree is a shopper at the deadbeat nigga store. She is going to find a man who don't nobody else want. She is going to find you a man that don't nobody else watch. I do not watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I know that's where Martell come from, and I ain't never heard nothing good about Martell. But of course, Sheree is head over heels for Martell. Martell is a clout chaser. Martell will be on anybody TV show. Martell will be on anybody TV show if he get a close-up. Like, I'm sorry. That's why Martell is sitting here. I don't know how invested Sheree is in this moment, like, on the show, in this relationship. It just seems like foolishness. But the thing is, it's on brand for Sheree. Last season, Sheree was chasing around a man who was in jail. Like, so what can we take this for? It's just Sheree. Sheree just got bad taste in men. Sheree, I don't know. Another thing, Sheree, Chateau Sheree. This home. Why is Sheree in this big ass house? I am at the age where, like, I'm grown now, and I look at people with big ass houses who live in them by themselves like, why are you in this house? Sheree should not be in a house that big. Sheree should be living in a nice, sweet little condo. Why is Sheree not living in a cute condo? Why is Sheree, just the property taxes on that house, I'm sure are fucking ridiculous. Then the upkeep of that house, I'm sure is fucking ridiculous. Like, Sheree should not be in that big house. Her kid's grown now. Her kid's grown. Like, it don't make no sense for Sheree to be in that house. But Sheree and Martell are absolutely unserious, and I genuinely do not care. That's the thing where I said this episode did a whole bunch of stuff. I don't care about Sheree and Martell. I do not care about who Martell's sleeping with, who Martell not sleeping with. I simply do not care. So then we get the candy coated click. If I never see the candy coated click again, it will be too soon. Oh my God, who likes the candy coated click? Why does the candy coated click keep being on our screen? I do not like the candy coated click. Due diligence, my other due diligence. I want to give Kandi a shout out. Kandi was nominated for a Tony. She is a producer on the piano lesson. The piano lesson, she's a producer, and I think she's gonna win that Tony. I think the piano lesson is going to win Best Revival. Now, I like Top Dog Underdog. That's who I want to win. But the piano lesson is probably gonna win Best Revival. And so Kandi may be getting her Tony for that. And then Kandi was nominated for a Southeast Emmy nomination. Now stay with me. I didn't even know they did regional Emmys. I did not know the Southeast Emmys was even a thing, but baby, that means I ain't been nominated for one, and Kandi has. Kandi was nominated for a Southeast Emmy as well for something she produced as well. And that brings me to the idea, that's what Kandi should be doing. I've been saying forever, Kandi need to put the vocals down. She need to put the acting down. And she need, be a producer. Use your money and produce shit. You can get the same accolades. I just don't think we need to be seeing Kandi, putting her creative juices forward. But that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. She may do something great. But what I'm saying is, be a producer. Kandi, you're a good producer, so we see. Be a producer. Produce somebody. Use your money to let other people show their talent. Because look at you. Congratulations to Kandi. I wish her nothing but the best in that. But like I said, I need the candy coated click like I need a root canal. I don't want it. I don't want it. Anyways, we move on. Sheree, you do need to listen to Kandi when it comes to business. Sheree, when it comes to using Real Housewives and leveraging it to do more, Kandi is the girl who is doing that. Why are you not listening to Kandi for business? People can say what they want about Kandi, and I do, but Kandi does seem like she genuinely wants to help people. She genuinely wants to help people, and so why not take the help from Kandi? She by Sheree is a fucking mess. She by Sheree is a fucking mess, and it really doesn't have to be. It does not have to be. Take the advice from Kandi. Kandi is showing you how to leverage Real Housewives of Atlanta. So yeah, I say do that. We move on. We are back with the Kandi does too much storyline. I don't care about Kandi's work-life balance. Because here's the reason why I don't care about Kandi's work-life balance. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Now that she's nominated for the Tony and the Southeast Emmy, she's just going to do more shit. She's just going to do more shit. Kandi is not going to change. Because she doesn't feel like she needs to. So this storyline never literally turns into anything. That's why I don't like the storyline. The storyline happens. Her kids be crying because she never home. And then she continues to put more on her plate because Kandi is a workaholic. She's a workaholic and she doesn't know how to edit. Kandi doesn't know how to edit. Kandi does not need to be doing all this stuff. I get, the producing stuff, the stuff, being a producer, I don't think takes that much work. It's not like she in the piano lesson, she the producer on the piano lesson. That ain't taking too much. And then the thing she got in the Southeast Emmy, I don't think also that takes so much work. You're involved as much as you want to be involved as a producer on a Broadway show. At the end of the day, it's directors and the people who write the script and the people who acting on the show. So, that stuff is fine. And that's the stuff she's getting the accolades for. So, do that. But, do we need to be doing everything? The spoofs? Do we need to be doing the spoofs? Do we need to be doing the spoofs? I understand doing, and then this is just the stuff we know that Kandi doing. Imagine the stuff that she doing that we don't know nothing about. I just don't know if we need to do. Kandi can edit. Kandi can edit. She can edit some things and still do the stuff that's worth doing. That's my thoughts. But you know what? Do what you gotta do. So I just don't want to hear about it. Oh my gosh, I'm tired of the Kandi and her she do too much. Whatever. I don't care. So then we get Monietta. Monietta comes in. Monietta is messy boots. Monietta is messy boots. There's no other way to describe her. She's messy boots. She's going to bone collect. Whatever you say to her, she's going to say to the next bitch. She is messy boots. And you know what? I'm here for it. I love a messy boots girl. As long as they don't become too, like, you doing a lot. I love a messy boots girl. But she comes in, and they all at the little candy-coated click stuff. Then Kenya walks in, and they all get to talking about the mess. Kenya says that she has a new man. Kenya also shops at the deadbeat nigga store. So, like, that means absolutely nothing. Kenya having a new man, I don't have nothing to say about that. But I'm happy that Kenya, you know, she's getting out there. She's trying to see what's out there. Kenya is too beautiful to feel like, you know, like not feel love. Kenya is a pretty girl. So, good for her, I guess. I don't know what to say about that. But they get to talking about Sheree and Martell, and basically they talk about how everybody in town saying that Martell ain't no good for Sheree, and it's just like, duh, they ain't no good for each other, because who gives a good guy? Like, it's Martell. I don't think Sheree think Martell is good for her. Sheree and her, like, man stuff, you just kind of let it be. The weird thing, I don't know what the friend dynamics of all this is. It seems like Marlo and Sheree don't like Kandi. Kandi don't like them. Kenya and Sheree are cool, but Kenya and Marlo not cool. It's just a lot going on. I don't know the friend dynamics, but they talking about Sheree, and they saying they not feeling it for Sheree. Now, Kandi get to crying. And this is the storyline I do like. Kandi and Ty, they not having marriage issues, but they having issues getting on the same page of what to do. Kandi is overwhelmed. Like I said, Kandi doesn't know how to edit. Kandi puts her all into everything, and so she doesn't know what's not worth putting her all into. Therefore, Todd is upset because Todd, like I said, Kandi should be a producer. She should use her money to fund other people's dreams, but them dreams ain't gotta be goddamn Todd's. Todd think he writing a movie, and like maybe he is. I don't know what's going on with that. And he wants Kandi to produce it, right? So basically, use your production company. You know, give us the platform we need to get this stuff going. Kandi like, do I have to? Kandi is like, do I have to? And I get it. Like, business and pleasure, we're gonna get on that with Sonya. Business and play, like, I don't know, but Kandi is overwhelmed because, and I get it, when you have everyone in your ear, like, business-wise telling you what you need to do, when you come home at night, you do not want somebody else telling you what you need to do. It becomes too much. You can't turn it off. So Kandi's overwhelmed, and I do like that storyline for Kandi. I do like the Kandi and Ty, what's going on with that. Okay. Sonya still got all them people in her goddamn house. Sonya still got all them people in her goddamn house. Here is the thing about Sonya having them people in her goddamn house. Sister Pooh ain't gonna have too much of what I'm not doing right in my own goddamn house. Sister Pooh was talking to Sonya kind of crazy, and she would have been out my house that day. Here's the thing, that's just not how me and my family give it up. We just not everybody gonna be in each other's house and in each other's face like that. That's just not how me and my family work, so I can't get behind it, but other people's families do work that way, and that's cute for y'all. But baby, when the sister started talking about how you got him doing this, and you got him doing that, and you got me doing this, and like, you making the kids do this, and we eat dinner at this, baby, you can leave. There ain't gonna be too much of that in the house I pay bills at. Like, sorry about that. But she got the people in her house, but that was her storyline last season. We was worried about that last, so I do not give a shit. Like, she like having them people in her house, clearly. So, if you like it, I love it. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? What else is going on here? Oh, she mixes business and family too much. Everybody know it don't work. It don't work. That's why Kandi fed up with Ty. It don't work. It don't work. Like, she has too many. When you start paying too many of your family bills, if all your family getting money to pay, you know, send their kids to school, feed their family, come from you working, it's never gonna work out. You're gonna start to resent them. You're gonna start to resent them. It's gonna start feeling like they living off you, because they are living off you. No shade, but they are living off you. And so, like, mixing business and pleasure the way she is doing it, it don't ever work out, Pooh. Next, we move on to Marlo. I want to say who I think had the best outing this episode is Marlo. After coming off a terrible last season, Marlo had a good outing this episode, if you ask me. Now, if you ask the Kandi girls, they gonna say fuck Marlo. But I think Marlo had I'm objective, sorry. Marlo had a good outing this episode. Marlo decided to mind her business this episode, but still be messy enough. Like, I liked her at the Harlem Renaissance party, but we'll get on that. We got Marlo's nephews back. And that brings into this. Y'all need to cut Marlo some slack when it comes to her nephews. Marlo is in a situation I think none of us would ever want to be in. Having to take in kids that you don't want to take in, honestly, because you don't want the kids to go into the system and you want these kids to have a better life. It's a lot. It's a lot to do. To go from being like fun, free, I get to do whatever I want, to now taking care of 2 teenage boys, like, it is an adjustment. It is an adjustment, and it's an adjustment a lot of people actually wouldn't do. When her sister got out of jail, she would have sent them kids right on to her sister. A lot of people would have did that, and Marlo didn't do that. Yes, Marlo kicked those boys out, but it became a lot. It's going to take a lot, and I think people need to cut Marlo a lot of slack, because you're like, it's easy to talk from outside the club, but like, if you've never had to do something like that, you really shouldn't be over here being like, and you suck and you suck. I couldn't imagine. I got 2 nieces and I got three nieces. I got 2 nieces and a nephew. I could not imagine if they had to come live with me tomorrow. I could not imagine if they had to come live with me tomorrow. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It becomes overwhelming. And they cute. My nieces and nephew cute because they little. Imagine dealing with teenagers who ain't as cute. Who ain't as cute. Who do talk back. Who are mean. Who are rude. Who are stank. Who don't clean up after themselves. I'm not doing it. It's a lot. It's a lot, but you have to do it. And so I think Marlo is doing the best that she can, but I did like that Marlo brought someone in to come talk to her. And like, she's trying. I think people, when it comes to Marlo and the nephews, I think people should cut Marlo some slack there. So then we go to Sheree's house. Sheree's teaching Sonya and this new girl Courtney the fitness stuff. Sheree should be doing fitness. Why does Sheree not have her own fitness studio? Because she didn't listen to Kandi. That's why. We move on. Sheree says that she's pissed off about Kandi and her spoofs. I don't think Kandi should be doing the spoofs anyway. So, like, I'm on Sheree's side when it comes to the spoofs. And if Sheree has told Kandi, like, hey, your spoofs kind of, they rub me the wrong way, what is Kandi really gaining from the spoof? The spoof's not even that funny. Like, some are funny, some not. Like, I don't even think it's worth it. I don't even think it's worth all the static it's causing, if it's causing all that. Marlo's the only one taking them in stride, so it seems. So, like, girl, is the spoofs worth it? And if Sheree's entitled to be upset with Kandi about the spoofs. What is this, like, weird, like, slut-shaming thingy that's going on with everybody? You got Kandi saying, don't dress like a pimp. Marlo might be looking for something. You got Sheree saying, what's her name? Kandi S&D. You got a lot of shade being thrown back and forth with the girls, and it's really, like, not even that necessary. But you know what? Maybe I just hate fun. Because Sheree said something about Kandi in her confessional about her SSMD, and I was just like, is it all that? Is it all that? That wasn't necessary. So that's that on that. So then we get Sonya talking about Ross' birthday party. I get it. Birthday parties are important. I think people should put more time and energy into throwing things to celebrate other people. I have no problem with people spending a bunch of money on a party. Sonya don't need to spend no $100K on no goddamn party for her man. See, this is what happened. Sonya had that bootleg ass party last season and the girls was kikiing. And this is how the girls make a mistake. Giving too much of a fuck what these girls got to say about them. You can think my party's cheap and her party was cheap. You can do it up a little bit better, but $100K? The thing about these parties is, you can't even play. I was thinking about this, why that party kind of felt a little dry. You can't play music at these parties because you're filming for a TV show and it's copywritten. So it's just people talking. Maybe the music is really low, but like, it's never worth it. Nothing on Bravo is worth $100,000. You hustling backwards. Do she make $100,000 to be on this show? You did this party for the TV show and they barely pay you more money than what you spent on the party. Is giving hustling backwards. I would have threw a little cute 7K, 10K type thing and called it. And the girls can talk their cash money shit in the confessionals. Pay for my next party then. Pay for my next party. None of these other girls paying $100K for a party. So why would you? It don't make no goddamn sense. Oh, so I don't know why she did that. I put in my notes, Kandi comment about Todd being a pimp and bringing up Marlo. That's not nice. That's not nice. Ralph. We had no Drew this episode, which, like, I'm a low-key Drew apologist, so, like, that hurt my feelings. Ralph said his family is in crisis and his wife is going through a lot. but it's his boy 40th birthday party and he gotta show up for that. Nigga, if you don't take your ass home. Ralph is a menace to society. Ralph is a menace to society, and like, I'm not comfortable in his presence. Ralph is absolutely insane. I don't see how Drew put up with Ralph as long as Drew put up with Ralph. But I can't wait till we get into the meat and potatoes of that. I hope we don't have to wait till next season to get into what's going on with them, because what a goddamn mess. I put in my notes, Kandi is trying. Kandi is really trying to wake it up this season, because Kandi is a snooze fest in the past 4 seasons. But Kandi is trying to wake it up this season, and so I'm going to give it to her about that. But baby, that Courtney and Kandi storyline, Courtney said that Kandi was upset because Courtney said she knew Kandi, but Kandi was like, I don't know nobody named Courtney. This type of fight happens, I feel like, once each season of every single Housewives franchise. If someone new gets brought in, there's going to be a fight about someone claiming they don't know the new girl. Like, this happens all the time on all the Housewives franchise. Somebody saying they don't know somebody getting upset about it. It's so late, it's so tired, but like, this happens. And Courtney is 100% on 50 million when she brings this up to Kandi. And can you imagine a bitch you don't know being upset that you don't know her? I was on Kandi's side all the way in this fight. Like, I don't even know you, and you upset with me? Like, somebody being upset with you who you do not know, you're going to have to spare me. But then Kandi go, I will headbutt you, and it ain't never gotta be that. It ain't never gotta be all that. So it was just a bunch of mess. It was just a bunch of mess. Now you got Monyetta messy ass. Monyetta messy ass is talking to Kenya and Sheree, and Kenya bring up that Monyetta brings up to Sheree that, hey, the streets been talking, and they've been talking about your man. He cheating on you. And Sheree like, what's going on? Give me the information. So they get to talking, and, Sheree is always going to be on the defense. Sheree does not like when somebody pulls her tail. She doesn't like when somebody pulls her tail. So if you come with her, Sheree is going to be on the defense, and that's what's happened. Martell is at the party, so now something's going to kick off with Kenya and Martell. And you always know how it go. Kenya don't argue with no mans. Kenya not about to argue back and forth with no man, so you know how that's about to get cooking. And Martell is a clout chaser, and because by the way, Martell was in Kenya's DMs, because of course he was. I feel like he probably been in everybody's DMs. I don't know. Yeah. That's the episode. Those are my thoughts. I thought who had the best outing? I think Marlo had the best outing. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Marlo trying to listen while Kandi getting it cooking with Courtney, and Marlo like, at least I'm not in it. Marlo's dead wrong. She said Broadway wasn't calling Kandi, and they might not be calling to get her on those stages, but they are calling. Like, she is a producer. She is a producer on the piano lesson, and the piano lesson is a good play. And like, being a producer, like, it's no like, somebody got to put the money up for the show. So like, good for Kandi. So Marlo wrong there. Those are my thoughts. I guess I'll be back for episode 2. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I wish Kim and Kroy nothing but the best in their finances. I don't wish nobody to be destitute. So there's that. And I will see you guys later. Peace.